This is going to be lesson 12.5, so chapter 12, lesson 5. And your intro was me clubbing because today we're classifying quadrilaterals into clubs. It'll make more sense then a little bit. I'm not going to be using the book a lot. I'm going to be doing something else to help you learn and understand it. But if you do want to look at the book and reference it at all, it's going to be on page 929 is where the lesson starts. I encourage you to look through it still, but I'm going to show you a different way that I think has helped my students in the past make sense of this. So first, let's review what quadrilaterals are. Quadrilaterals are polygons. Polygons are shapes with straight sides that are closed and don't overlap or cross. Quadrilaterals are a specific type of polygon that have 4 sides. Quad means 4, so quadrilateral is a shape with 4 sides. Okay? We're going to talk about different types of quadrilaterals and the different names for them. Grab a whiteboard, a blank sheet of paper, something that you can write this on. Actually, a blank sheet of paper would be better than a whiteboard, so you can keep it with you. So pause if you need to, go grab what you need to be able to take notes along with me here. Okay, so we're going to start out, and like I said, we're learning about quadrilaterals here. So on the top of, I'm using just like a regular printer piece of paper. These are the quadrilateral clubs. So we're going to call it quadrilaterals. Okay, this is the quadrilateral club. Now there's some clubs where if you want to get into this place, you have to have like special access, like you have to pay to get in, or you have to be famous to get in. So as we go through it, I'm going to tell you what the requirements are to get into each of these clubs. Okay, so we're going to start out with the first club, which is the Parallelogram Club. To draw a parallelogram, I'm going to use straight lines because parallelograms have 2 pairs of parallel sides, meaning that the sides won't touch. Okay? Parallel, right? If we continued these lines on forever, they'd be parallel, they wouldn't touch. And then again, as I connect the sides of them, probably need to take this side out a little bit longer on mine. Okay? As I connect these other sides, I'm going to make them parallel as well. If we kept them going, they wouldn't touch. Okay? Okay, there's my parallelogram. So to get into the Parallelogram Club, you just have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides. So we're going to call this the Parallelogram Club. Remember, the only rule for getting into the Parallelogram Club is 2 pairs of parallel sides. If I end up drawing or writing too fast for you, remember you can always pause along the way and just unpause when you're caught up to where I am and ready. Okay? So get in the Parallelogram Club, 2 pairs of parallel sides. It's just like, paying to get in, right? Okay. Once you're in the club, though, there's all these VIP club rooms that you can get into if you're extra special or you do extra things. So in the club, there is also the Rectangle Club. Now the Rectangle Club also has to have 2 pairs of parallel sides because they're in the Parallelogram Club, so they had to have that to get in, right? So the Rectangle Club also has 2 pairs of parallel sides, so we're going to make these sides parallel. And there's the Rectangle Club. Now, to get into the Rectangle Club, there's a little bit more you have to do. You have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides, but you also have to have 4 right angles. So notice where we're at right here. A rectangle is a type of parallelogram, right? It has 2 pairs of parallel sides. But a parallelogram can't always be a rectangle because if you look here, it doesn't have right angles, okay? This has more that it has to do to be classified as a rectangle. Okay, there's another club, and it's the Rhombus Club. And I'm going to freehand this one, but bear with me. And the Rhombus Club okay, ignore that part right there. Ignore that. Okay, there's your rhombus. Okay, in the Rhombus Club, you have to have 2 pairs of parallel sides, but all the sides have to be equal. Okay, so all of these sides are the same or congruent. So this is the Rhombus Club. And the extra rule for the Rhombus Club is 4 equal sides. Okay, that's going to bug me. Let's see here. Now it's a balloon. Yay, party in the club. Okay, so this part here is the rhombus. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides, parallel, parallel, and all sides are equal. They're the same length, okay? Now there's one more really exclusive club, and you should be pretty familiar with this. It's the square. Now the Square Club is super exclusive. Like, this is where Beyonce goes, okay? The Square Club meets all of these requirements. It has 2 pairs of parallel sides. 1, 2. It has 4 right angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has 4 equal sides. Equal, 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 equal. So it is the most exclusive club. So as we can see here, in your homework you're going to get a lot of questions like this. Is a rectangle a parallelogram? Let's look. Is a rectangle in the Parallelogram Club? Does it have 2 pairs of parallel sides? Yes. So yes, a square is a parallelogram. Is a parallelogram a square? No, because it doesn't necessarily have 4 right angles and 4 equal sides as well. Okay? So it starts to get a little confusing as you start to say these things, but use these clubs to help you. Is a square a rectangle? Yes, it has 4 right angles. Is a rectangle always a square? No, not necessarily. This one isn't, because not all 4 sides are equal. Okay, so that's the Quadrilateral Club. Now, outside of the Quadrilateral Club, there's one more guy. He likes to hang out outside and chat it up with the bouncers. This is the Trapezoid. And the Trapezoid doesn't fit in the Parallelogram Club, but he is a quadrilateral. And a trapezoid, you know, to be able to hang out with the bouncers outside, he has to have 1 set of parallel sides. So you can see this side and this side are parallel to each other, but these aren't. So that's a trapezoid. Use this, use this, use this to help you as you start answering those questions. In your Alex homework, you're going to see true or false questions. True or false, a rhombus is always a square. False, it's not always, this one's not. True or false, a square is always a rectangle. True, it meets that every time. Okay, so use that to help you as you go over the homework. On page 931, again, pause it if you need to see that still, and use that. But on page 931, in your books, there's the independent practice. Go ahead and do all of them. It's just 3 through 8. But I want you to get that practice in. Pause my video now. Go do 3 through 8. Then come back and check with me. Okay? Pause your video. Pause it. Alright, we're back. So, I want you to come and check your answers with me. Let's get this focused for you. Okay. On 3 and 4 here, describe the attributes of the quadrilateral, then classify it. Okay, so I know that this is a parallelogram because opposite sides are congruent and parallel. They're the same. There's 2 sets of parallel sides. And they happen to be congruent, right? Because when we connect them, they're the same length as opposites. Okay, number 4. 2 sets of parallel sides, but also 4 equal sides, which makes this a rhombus. Okay, circle the quadrilaterals that have attributes of a parallelogram, meaning they match what you have to have for the Parallelogram Club. Okay, parallelograms do. Rectangles match, right? They're in the club. Rhombuses are in the club, and squares are in the club. Trapezoid did not match. It wasn't in the club. Okay, the quadrilaterals that have the attributes of a rhombus. The only one that has the attributes of a rhombus besides a rhombus is the square. It has 4 equal sides. So we would have circled square. All right, all parallelograms have opposite sides, congruent and parallel. Since rectangles are parallelograms, all rectangles have opposite sides, congruent and parallel. True or false? It's true. Number 8, all squares have 4 congruent sides. Since rectangles are squares, all rectangles have 4 congruent sides. That's false. Rectangle's not always a square because it doesn't always have 4 congruent sides, right? It can be. If we make a square with 4 congruent sides, it is a type of rectangle, but not all rectangles are squares, so that one's false. All right, go to your Alex assignment. It's going to be 12.5. Remember, when you're doing that assignment, you're shooting for 80% or better before you stop. All right, guys, good luck.